Welcome everyone to Trend Talks Life. I am your host, Erin Tomie, and today we're talking to Vice President Global Events and Marketing, Scott Perry. Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Erin. Thank you very much for having me on Trend Talks.
Very happy to have you. I would love to just start by you sharing a bit about your role here at Trend Micro, and I'd especially like to hear about your involvement with the NEOM-McLaren Formula E team.
I look after global events for Trend Micro, some of the larger events that have global audiences, global customers, and global trenders at them. And ironically, and if you can just transition a little bit, ironically, it was at one of the last large events that we had last January, I think it was in 2023, where somebody that I work closely with, Dania Thacker, came to me and said, Scott, we'd like to pursue a global sponsorship. And I'd like you to kind of run the whole thing and move in that direction for us. So it was a little bit of a difference from looking after global events side when it looks at the sponsorship side of things. And we quickly narrowed down that sponsorship, a sports sponsorship, to Formula E and NEOM-McLaren. So it's been an interesting ride because it's non-traditional for me in the global events space.
Well, you gave a bit of a sneak peek there, Scott, but how did that sponsorship come to be from that first conversation last year? What is the origin story there of how we got to today and the announcement of the sponsorship?
Well, there was a lot of investigation. It's something that I hadn't traditionally done, was sports sponsorship. So there was a lot of learning. There was a lot of exploration. Dania did talk about Formula E, talked about Formula One, and we narrowed this down into the Formula E space and NEOM-McLaren. So the actual path to the sponsorship with NEOM-McLaren was incredibly smooth. They're a wonderful team of people to work with. It was probably one of the fastest contracting processes that I've gone through. We both had a common vision of where we wanted to land, and they were the consummate professionals in doing it as well and guiding us through on where we wanted to focus things. So we quickly actually replaced the word sponsorship with partnership, because that's truly captured the essence of the two companies, two organizations together. It's been a true partnership from that. Even in the moment that we were working through the contracting process to where we are today, it has been a true partnership. They've supported us all the way along the way. We announced it officially in July 2023. And since then, it's just been a rocket ship to, if I want to mix my analogies, to where we are right now.
I want to dive even deeper into the beginning of what you were saying about the genesis of this partnership. And as someone who does not follow racing of any sort, when I think about racing, my brain usually goes to NASCAR or Formula One first. So how did we end up with Formula E for Trend Micro?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think the expectation was we would move down the Formula One path. But Formula E actually represents the future of motor racing. It is the future of single seat, what we consider single seat open cockpit racing. So when you think of Formula One, you think of Formula E, they're both one person in a driver's cockpit. It's open to the air. So it's really the future of that. When you look at all of the technology and the technology innovation behind Formula E, that aligns brilliantly with what Trend Micro did. So we wanted to, first off, carve a new space for Trend Micro in a new market area. So Formula E aligned brilliantly with what we were doing in terms of a technology and innovation space. I talked about briefly carve a new space. So we wanted to be first to market. We've been first to market throughout our history. And in a sports sponsorship or a partnership like this, we wanted to do the same thing. We wanted to be first. If you look at Formula One right now, try to find a space on a car. Try to find something where you could actually put your brand and your brand would stand out. We wanted to carve out a niche that was unique to us and aligned with our own goals, and would grow in prominence over the year. You know, they're just going into, I think, the 10th season right now in Formula E. So there's a long growth path going down the way in terms of technology, in terms of racing, in terms of audience. And ultimately, Formula E combines the challenge and excitement of high-speed motor racing with a commitment to sustainability, a commitment to the future. And again, that really aligned nicely with what our goals are in a company, is looking to the future, looking to the bright, positive future. So it really mixed nicely with our own goals for our first time out in a sports sponsorship, sports partnership.
Yeah, I think it really makes a lot of sense. There are so many different connection points between Trend Micro and how we've evolved over the years and where we're going. So I can definitely see where that is coming from with the connection to Formula E. And I think the big question now is, we're into 2024, quite a few months in. How have things unfolded since announcing the partnership back in July of 2023? How has Trend embraced this partnership?
Yeah, we've embraced it in the same way that NEOM-McLaren have. We're very, very close right now from partnership perspective. But to be honest, when we announced it in July, it was new. When I was asked to look after and to go after a partnership like this, I'm a huge racing fan, as you know, and I think now, having spoken to so many trenders, every trender knows that I live, eat, and breathe Formula One as an example. So when somebody came to me and said, "Hey, can you chase down this Formula E?" I was like, "Is that a gaming technology, or just what is Formula E?" So I've learned an awful lot in the time that we've kicked off the sponsorship. And it's the same thing with Trend Micro. Trenders have also learned an awful lot from our evangelizing this within the company. So our goal, number one, was to get ramped up and get amped up, if you excuse that terminology, in Formula E, and to educate people within Trend, and then start to educate the marketplace, our own customers, about Formula E. And that was before the racing actually started. So that was from July to January. We were really preparing the groundwork for launching what we would do at the races. And already we've gone through, I'll probably get a little bit mixed up here, but let's see, we've gone through Mexico City, we've gone through Diria, Sao Paulo, Tokyo, Misano. I'm probably missing one of them along the way. And ahead of the game, we have, just this weekend, probably the most iconic racetrack of all time in Monaco. So really exciting, getting the excitement level up within trenders and our customers, and leveraging these experiences. Monaco is going to be followed by Berlin by Portland in the United States, which is a huge opportunity for us and our customers. And then we wrap the whole thing up in London, and the season's over by the end of July kind of thing, and we're just starting. So fortunately, this is a multi-year contract. We've learned an awful lot in the short period of time that we've had. That's kind of where we're at right now in terms of the partnership. It's all been about education, about spreading the word, and spreading the good things about the partnership with NEOM-McLaren.
Well, Scott, I'm very happy that I was able to host you on Trend Talks Life today to talk all about the NEOM-McLaren partnership. I know we have a really great page on our website talking about the partnership, and I'll make sure that is linked down in the description below for people to check it out themselves. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Well, thank you very much, Erin. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.